Hey, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Jasmine and I am a second year biomedical engineering student at university. In today's video we're going to be talking about things that you need to do in your first year of university from my experience. But before we get started, if you're looking for more university lifestyle videos, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. And without further ado, let's just get into the video. The first thing I want to say before I get started is please at least try to pass your first year of university. I know you're probably going to want to be like going out, making friends, etc. But if you have to resit modules in second year, or maybe even resit the whole of first year, that's just going to be like an extra stress on you. When as you get further up the uni, obviously the work's going to be harder, so you want to be able to focus on that and not have to resit modules of the year before. It doesn't have to be a first or straight A's or anything, but at least try and pass it. Okay, so the first thing I have written down is to join a society. This is going to really widen your circle of friends. You're going to get more experiences around all of the different parts of the uni, because you might join a society that's not related to your course, which you can do if you want to. I didn't actually join any societies in my first year, the main reason for this being that I lived at home and I worked all the time, so that I didn't really have time to make my way across to uni and back again. When my friends used to talk about it, I actually used to get a wee bit jealous and be like, oh, I wish I was doing that, because they always seem to have social nights and their Gaudi night seemed really fun. And yeah, so if you are up for it, I know some people aren't up for it social anxiety wise, but please try and join a society. It'll probably make your time a whole lot better than mine was. Another thing I have written down is if you live in halls, please try and learn to cook something other than plain pasta and super noodles. I'm really guilty of this. Sometimes even living at home, I would come home and just have super noodles for lunch. You're gonna want something more nutritious, especially when it comes to exam time. You need brain food. If you're struggling with stuff like that, there's a lot of student cookbooks on the internet. My mum got my boyfriend one because he moved away for uni, and it had loads of recipes just for one person and recipes for your whole flat if you're up for that, if your flat is like that. Even just googling recipes, student recipes on the internet, you don't even need to buy a book. I'm sure there'll be websites out there for you guys. You're also going to want to find a dedicated workplace. This could be the library, a cafe nearby your uni. Your uni might have common rooms for specific subjects, even just your desk in your room. Every time you go there, your brain is going to be trained into thinking, okay, I have to study here, so you're going to be more productive, etc. when you sit down here. For me, this was just my room at home, but I also if I had lectures that had a 2-3 hour gap in between them, I wouldn't go home. So obviously I didn't live on campus, so I would sit in the library. And our library had 3 floors. It had group study, quiet study, silent study. So I used to sit in quiet study, and they had little pods that you could sit in, and yeah, so you could just sit in this little pod. I would sit, eat my lunch, drink my coffee, do some studying, do some homework. So yeah, if you find yourself a dedicated study place in first year, then by the time you get to your proper exams in third and fourth year, this is going to be your dedicated study place, and this is just where you're going to feel comfortable to sit and work. Another thing I have written down, which is really important, is please learn how to reference, because some of the people's projects that I worked on with their referencing was atrocious. Each uni will have a specific style. It could be Harvard, Oxford, Chicago, but it just depends on what uni you go to. So obviously find that out first, and when you find this out, you don't even have to write these references yourself. There are online websites where you can just copy and paste the URL or the book title and pages that you used into it, and it will generate these references for you, so you don't actually have to sit and write it out yourself. But once you learn how to reference, it's going to be so much easier for your final year projects and dissertations, because your references actually can give you a certain amount of percentage of your mark. So for some of my projects this year, it was 5% for referencing. So if you didn't do your referencing properly, that was 5% that you lost for something you could have just copied off the internet. So if you learn to reference in first year is to make mistakes. If you get it wrong in first year, it's okay, because it's not your final year, it's not the most important thing in the whole world, and you will learn from your mistakes and do it properly the next time. Another thing I have written down is to please try and reach out and make friends. It's obviously they don't have to be best friends, they can just be people you sit with in lectures, but you don't want to sit on your own in lectures. I know it's difficult for people with social anxiety. I myself am a very anxious person, so I found it quite difficult to make friends, but The way I made my first friend, who I am still friends with today, is that I overheard her speaking about biomedical engineering outside one of the buildings we had our introductory lectures in. I just went up to her and I was like, sorry, did I hear you guys talking about biomedical engineering? And we're friends. So yeah, it could be as easy as that. Everyone is in the same boat. There's probably going to be anxious people like you. So they're probably going to be thankful that you reached out to them and they didn't have to do it. The final thing I have written down is to please decide in your first year if this course is for you. You don't want to sit through a whole degree of something that you don't like, that you don't enjoy. You don't want a degree in it because you want to enjoy your job that you get at the end of it. In Scotland, where SAS pays your fees, my friend from high school, she didn't finish her first year at university and it counted as a false start, so they are paying for another 4 years of university for her at a different university on a completely different course. So obviously that was her specific situation, so you're going to have to research thoroughly, speak to parents, academic advisors before you make any rash decisions. But in Scotland, SAS pays your fees, and if you don't finish first year, it counts as a false start for most cases. My friend isn't even going back to university this year. She's taking a year out and then she's going to do her 4 years at university, so it's very flexible up here in Scotland. I'm not sure about the rest of the UK or other parts of the world, but in Scotland, SAS will pay for another 4 years of your degree. So yeah, these are the things I find personally that you're going to need to do in your first year of university. Obviously, you guys might have different ideas, and if you do, leave them down below in the comments for other people to look through, because I know I was very anxious leading up to my first year of university. I watched loads of these videos, so I'm doing this to help other people. Obviously it's not going to be exactly the same this year due to COVID and everything, but the general idea is there. If you have any video requests about university lifestyle, also leave them down in the comments. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and I'll be back probably next week or in a couple days with another video, and I'll see you guys then. So bye.